All right, everybody, thank you for joining us for our Wednesday Zoom and Learn with Mary Jane Morris and myself, Tommy Dutcher. I am with California Title Company. I am the area sales manager for Riverside County. My contact is Tommy for Title. That's the number 4, Tommy for Title at Gmail, or excuse me, at just tommyfortitle.com in general is all my contact is there. And then we do have a guest today, and Mary Jane, I'll let you introduce yourself in a sec, or I'll let you introduce our guest. So Mary Jane.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Jane from Granite Escrow. I'm the VP of Sales as of 6 months ago or so. Many of you know, have heard me say before that I was an escrow officer for 20 years before I got my broker's license. And I just returned to the escrow industry, and I've been excited to be able to take care of an entire community instead of a single. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Jane Borgman. And by the way, Jane, for as long as I've known you, I've been saying your last name wrong, so please forgive me. I've been reversing the Brogan and the Borgan. It's Jane.
That's okay. It's all right.
Jane came to me through the board and was introduced as the systems expert from CRMLS, and that part of her actual job is to get out and teach us what we don't know, which is a lot usually, about the CRMLS system. Live and in person, she's just amazing, and I'm so happy to have her here. And what we've asked her to do today is, there are so many things on your home screen of your CRMLS that you don't even know what they do. We're going to take a deep dive into anything in particular. We're going to let her give us kind of a love story of what's there and what she likes, is available at no charge, and what does have a minimum charge. Like usual, we're going to have conversational style. Tommy will be watching the chat box for your questions. Feel free to unmute and ask. Jane is a regular resource to you. She does have an email address, and when I'm trying to do a search or tackle a situation, I'm never going to let this lady out of my life. I'm very grateful to have her in my life. Jane, thank you so much for joining us today. You represent CRMLS so well, and we're happy to have you here today. Let's let you get started with what you think we should get started with.
You bet. All right. Thanks, Mary Jane. How's everybody doing? So I'm going to go ahead. Tommy, can I go ahead and share my screen?
Yes. Are you able to?
And let's see. Let me just jump right in there. So you guys should now be seeing my dashboard. And that's really where I want to kind of start off here, because this is really, guys, a great overview of all of your products that you have as a member benefit. So in other words, you know, when you're a realtor with CRMLS, all of these that you see here on your dashboard, when you log in through your association website, there's no extra charge to all of these softwares that you see at the very top. So I just want to kind of touch on these very briefly, just kind of give you an idea of how you would use this tool. We'll go through these, guys. If you have questions, certainly just jump in there and ask away. So when you start off there, you see a couple of Builders Update, and then along with Builders Update, we have New Home Source Professional. So I'm not going to go into each one of those programs, but that's basically giving you the ability to search all new homes. And rather than you going out, so if you have a new client and they're searching for a new home, maybe in an area that you're not familiar with, don't have to drive out there, guys, and check out. You can just go into either one of these. Builders Update, I'm a little more familiar with New Home Source Professional because we've offered that one for many, many years. And I have good feedback on that. We don't do training on either one of those. They're very just basic softwares. But if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out. And we see Cloud CMA.
Well, real quick,
Cloud
Jane.
MLS. Sure.
Before you leave, that new home source, guys, I would recommend everybody click on it and register. It's free to register on it. And what it does is this. There's 3 things that you need to understand with it. First, it allows you and your clients to search any new home builds anywhere. Second, it allows you, once you register, it gives you a personalized website that is branded to you. So you have a website now to send out to your clients to search new home builds. And when your clients go there, your clients can register, and you will see that kind of like a lead within their system. Not only that, it allows you direct communication with the builder as that agent as well. So everybody should have that because it's a great tool.
Sure. And then think about this too also, if there's some new builds coming up, or you just want to keep on top of what's in a certain county. As example, I've got mine set up for Orange County, so I get emails when there might be a builder closeout or specials, promos coming up. I mean, that's just one more reason to register right there. So good information. Now you have Cloud CMA, Cloud MLX, and Cloud Streams. Those three together combined are your Cloud Agent Suite. And I would imagine that most of you have used Cloud CMA. Now, Cloud CMA is utilized to create CMAs, buyer tours, property reports. We can also do flyers with that. Now, this has been around for many, many years, guys. And one thing to mention here, utilizing Cloud CMA. So if we take our pick of Cloud CMA over the CMA we have over in Matrix, there's just different ways to present now with Cloud CMA. So when I drop in there and I want to present via Zoom or have some type of a live presentation, I can use Cloud. It's a little bit nicer format. And then also up at the top here on the right corner, I always like to point this out. There is a free lead generator that you can utilize through Cloud CMA. And that lead generator, I can either place that on my website, I could put it into my email signature, I can share that on social media. So that's one good reason to, jump in there, sign up for Cloud, utilize that free lead generator. It's going to capture that lead, it's going to send that lead over to you, the agent, and then in turn, it would actually send a quick CMA out to that potential new client.
Okay. So agents, a lot of you guys are like, hey, I want to be able to put an ad out there on Facebook on like, what's my home worth? And there are tons of third-party companies out there that charge you for that. And you can be doing that right here in Cloud CMA and linking it to Facebook and doing an ad that says, what's my home worth? And when they click on it, you get that lead. You don't have to pay an extra service for that.
Right. So one thing to think about with that too, if you're planning to use that lead generator, it's probably best to set up, your own template so that you can kind of pick and choose those pages and customize those pages that go out. But another thought on that, if you don't want Cloud CMA to actually push that CMA out, you can just go ahead and uncheck the box here. You would still get the lead, but they're not going to go ahead and send out that quick CMA, because I know that sometimes maybe it's a particular area where you really want to go in and grab those comps yourself. So either way is going to work on that one. All right. So as we go through here, Cloud MLX, Cloud Streams, I don't really find that many agents use Cloud MLX because it is just another option as far as searching. It's basically a front end for a multiple listing service. And we're all about giving you options. So if you're not too crazy about Matrix, you think it looks, it's a little bit older look and feel, which we are going to roll out Matrix 10 in just a couple of, really about a week or so here. You're going to see a lot of changes with the interface, but Cloud Stream would be an option as opposed to, I have a new client and I want those listings to be pushed out to my client. I don't necessarily want to have to go in and search for those. I have a couple different options. I could use Cloud Streams, which would push the listings out into like a stream format. I also could use the Matrix Auto Email, or I think one of the newest softwares that it's a pretty cool software, guys. I don't know if you have checked this out. It's called CRMLS Connect. This actually is our newest. And this would give you the option to collaborate with your client. It's basically your own little mini website. This should load up here in a second. So if I were to share listings via CRMLS Connect, or I can actually invite a client to collaborate with me on this tool, the kind of look and the feel of this is pretty awesome. So if I go in there, I say, okay, let me look at some homes down in Coronado, right? I jump in there, I click on that listing, and I get a different look and a feel as to, opposed to the look and the feel of Matrix or even with Cloud Streams. So it's a pretty up-to-date user interface. It's got the ability to share to social media from here, and also has market report. That's huge, guys. So if you need a quick market report, this is a great option.
And Jane, is this in real time? Is this updated? Is most updated as the matrix is?
Yes, so this is actually a standalone multiple listing service. It's a total front end. It's called Box MLS. We just have renamed it CRMLS Connect. And so it's just, you know, it's real time. I could just do all my searching. I could set up save searches here. I could use this, you know, other than Matrix if I wanted to, honestly. So the market reports are huge. And I'm going to do a quick market report. Let's say I want to grab a market report for the city of Yorba Linda. So I get a client and they say, hey, I'm just curious. Do you have a quick market report for me? I can jump in here. I can do it by city, zip, county, or state. I can generate a market report within like 30 seconds, faster than that. And it's broken down in increments, 12 months, 6 months, 30 days. So it just breaks down the properties on the market, days on market, properties at a glance. Also, you see that you have the option with this. I could email this report out, or I could go ahead and I could just print it out. So if I want to walk the neighborhood with this, add it into my comparative market analysis, this is a pretty awesome tool. What do you think of this, Tommy?
Yeah, I like this. So I have one question in regards to it. I see the little share icon directly to the left of where you were there.
Yeah.
Does it allow you to share it to social media, or how does it allow you to share? Just email?
Yeah, so this one's just an email.
Gotcha.
So basically it's just a PDF. But it'd be nice if it would share to social media. Certainly we could put that suggestion in. So if I were to collaborate with clients on this, they also have access to create their own market report.
Yeah. No,
So
this is
you
awesome.
have a couple different, yeah.
There was one question that came in from Rich. He asked if you can show us how to add a client to this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump in there. So if I say,
Or to
I
add
want to
multiple
invite a client
clients.
right, if I want to collaborate with a client on this, it's so easy. These are all the buttons over here on the side. I can just go right here to add a client. It's as easy as drop in there and invite right here. That's all I have to do. First name, last name, email address. So it would prompt them to actually create their own account. Now in CRMLS Connect, they would be added under your clients. I'd be able to see all their activity if they saved a search, what listings they're looking at, and their view would be exactly like yours, of course, minus agent information.
So this is completely separate from Matrix then? So if you had clients in the Matrix, they wouldn't pull in automatically?
No, there's not an option. So it's, like a standalone. So it's going to be one or the other, Personally, I like this one because it's not quite as clunky as the live portal over in Matrix. I would check it out if I were you guys. Jump in there and try it out.
I would say one question I would ask is when you're sharing, well, if you set up an auto search in here, just like you would set up an auto search in the Matrix, if you set up an auto search in here, does it get delivered via email the same, or does it look better than the Matrix? The Matrix is very spammy looking.
Yeah, it's a little bit fresher look to it, and I don't know. It's just I don't want to put down Matrix. That's the whole thing. Yeah, Matrix is a little spammy looking. That's a good way to put it. This just has a little bit fresher look, and it kind of showcases the property. It says click here for more details. And then what it's going to do, it's going to prompt them to log into their CRMLS Connect. And there's also an app that's very friendly. So,
well, I mean, for the agents, I would recommend that you add yourself as a client in here and mess around with it and put up an auto email, save search for yourself, and get a feel for what that looks like so that you know what the end user is going to see and experience.
Yep, absolutely. Check it out, guys. I mean, the first time you jump in there, you're just going to log in with your credentials that you used to log into Matrix. And then every time thereafter, just think about it is going to be a single sign-on from here on the dashboard, or we can go through the links over in Matrix. Wow, so you actually have three through CRMLS, which you can use on your mobile device, of course. You have the CRMLS app, you have the HomeSnap Pro, and then you have MLS Touch. And I always get the question, which one's better? You know, I mean, there's not one really that's better. They just all have a couple of different features, so I don't lean towards one or the other. But I would imagine, guys, if you are out in the field and one app is down, you better have another app ready and loaded, and you better know how to use it, right? So, and Tommy's shaking his head, yes, it's like, don't just rely on one app, and then you get out in the field and your client, it's down, and you go, oh, I have another app, but hold on, let me figure out how to navigate it. Have at least two that you know very well.
Well, one
right?
thing that I did notice between some of the apps is there is quite a bit of difference between them. And what I mean by that is if, for instance, a CRMLS app, right? You can share that and what's that, home something, whatever. If
That's
you
Home
share,
Spotter.
yeah, if you share that with your client, they have the ability to search coming soons. But in MLS Touch, correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't give you the ability to search coming soons.
They're working on that, which that's crazy, but they're all taking a little bit of time to catch up with that whole coming soon thing, clear cooperation policy. So, but the one thing about MLS Touch, I know, Tommy, you mentioned at the beginning, talking about, you know, realist tax and special assessments and so forth. So the last update they did on MLS Touch, since MLS Touch is owned by CoreLogic, which owns realist tax, they own Matrix, huge company. They have all the information now in realist tax that you would see on the app. So if you want to jump in there and look at special assessments, it really has all that available. So when you're out on the weekend and maybe realist tax overall is down, like Tommy said, you need it on the weekend, it's down. If you jump into MLS Touch, you're going to be able to find that. And they also have added the ability to touch on any parcel and grab the information per parcel. So you're not only seeing what's active, pending, whatever, history in the multiple listing service, you're able to see the information on each individual parcel. So that's huge for you guys to have when you're in the field.
Yeah, and the MLS Touches, it's user-friendly. And the nice thing about it is it allows you to build your brand within it. And then you can share your app within the app, and it's branded to you. So if you had a team logo or a company logo or a personal logo, etc., you can really brand your app to where your end client user sees that, and you send them a link, they register, and you get an alert back that says you have a lead, and you approve them to come into it. So it's not just an open platform as much as it's an inviting platform where you can keep track of your clients within it. So it's nice. I just wish they would sooner than later add that coming soon portion to it.
You know what? I'm going to find out when that's coming. I'll get back to you on that.
Cool.
And I hope it's soon too, because it's really, I always told them, you know, it's ridiculous that you can't all be on the same page, because it just makes the members go, what the heck? I can do it here, but I can't do it there. And it's very confusing.
Yeah.
So, yep, I'm with you on that one. So the next one here, guys, eProperty Watch. Honestly, this probably is one of my favorites. And I'm going to go over to Matrix and show you. I'm on the Matrix system now. eProperty Watch. I have mine as a widget right here on my home page. eProperty Watch is a data-rich newsletter that goes out to your clients, your past clients, to keep them on top of the value of their home. And you can actually sign 2,500 clients up at no additional charge with eProperty Watch. I've had agents that have had great luck with eProperty Watch, guys. They've, you know, gone ahead and signed someone up for the newsletter. During the class, they've got a text back, hey, I love that newsletter that you sent me out. We see the value of our home. And honestly, we're just getting ready to put that on the market. You touched base with us right at the right time. So come on out with your comparative market analysis. Let's talk about it. I don't know, anybody use this?
Yeah, where's the data from eProperty Watch? Who owns it? Where's the data? CoreLogic?
So,
okay, so.
CoreLogic.
And I want, and just for instance, I had an agent sign me up so that I can experience it. And so I get an email once a month. And in that email, it gives me community updates, most recent sales, things like that. It tells me the value of my home, which that's why I was wondering where it was coming from, because the value is off quite a bit. But it also tells you, you know, it tracks where your current mortgage loan and stuff is. And it gives you heads ups like interest rates have dropped, things like that as well. I think the biggest thing to understand with this is, as you guys are pulling leads and you're talking to people out there as an agent or as a broker, and you come across, you know, a homeowner, right, that is not ready to sell now, et cetera, you know, you can subscribe them to it and they get an email. So you can put their data in, they get an email, and they can approve the email to accept the data. And then it's automatically branded to you, and they'll get that update every single month like it's coming from you that says, hey, estimated value, here's the change in value based on the area, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And it's really just keeping data branded to you in front of these clients, right? So it's just another way of hitting on the client that potentially is going to be a seller down the road that isn't currently, you know, potentially one now. Not only that, your past clients. You sell somebody a house, you register them into it, you send them out an email. It says that, you know, Mary Jane Morris is inviting you to this data, and they click on it, and then they just keep getting another pinpoint hit on you every single month from you. So it's another way to stay in front of people in a big way. And I think that's what you need to look at this for is, you know, not so much anybody can sit there and say the data's not accurate, this and that. Every site you go to, you're going to find different. Don't get hung up on that. Get hung up on the fact that you're sending, in most cases, value to a client ongoing that you will forget to do on a monthly basis.
Yeah. You know, I think what's good about this newsletter, this is just an example of the newsletter. And right here, it shows the estimated value. And like Tommy said, that value sometimes can be way off. But right here, here's the estimated value of the AVM. It says contact your agent for the most accurate information. And if you click on the little eye right here and you watch the video that CoreLogic has created, they talk about, you know, the value is estimated. And if you want a accurate value of your property, it wraps it back around to you, the agent. And I do like that fact that they take the time to wrap it back around to you.
I like that they put the value range underneath it because, you know, right now in the type of market we're in with lack of inventory and things like that, everything is more on the higher end of the value, right? Let's be honest. But when you look at this and it gives you the average between the two, but it gives you the low and the high, you know, that plays a bigger part than just putting a single value there, right? And so I wouldn't get hung up on the data as much as the fact that you're sending something of potential value to a client on autopilot.
I agree. Okay, so good information. Let me just close a couple of these windows out. Here we go. Okay, so we're back on the dashboard. That was eProperty Watch. So HomeSnap Pro, that's one of the apps that you have available. Guys, HomeSnap Pro also has a desktop version, which is pretty handy to use. And that's going to give you that ability to search actually properties across the United States because HomeSnap Pro does work across the region. InfoSparks is the ability to create real-time statistics.
Yeah, we had a training on this a couple weeks ago with the gentleman from that department.
That's right. You had Rudy, didn't you? Or did you have Rudy came in? Okay, so you guys are familiar with InfoSparks. You know, a lot of times you do get that question. I want to create some stats. I see there's a stats tab over in Matrix. So those are really just static stats, if you will. These are real-time statistics.
And guys, if you need the video on InfoSparks, reach out to me and I'll send you the video link on that one, on that training.
So I haven't been into LionDesk for quite some time, but you know, as Tommy
I use it as my CRM for title as well. So I'm very familiar with LionDesk.
Oh, you do?
Guys, LionDesk is a CRM that's given to you in your dues with the CRMLS. If you do not have a CRM, please register for LionDesk. It's going to allow you to not only add all your contacts in there, keep track of all your conversations with your clients. They have an app, so you can do it through the app. For a very small fee, I want to say it's only like $5 or $10 or something like that. You can actually link up get a phone number within LionDesk to where you can make calls through the app, and it'll track those calls. You can send text messages through the app. You can set up auto drips, which they already have templates set up for you. So you can set up an auto drip for buyers, auto drip for sellers, etc. You can keep track of all your tasks, your daily tasks. Here's a kicker. A lot of CRMs don't have this, and you have to pay for a third party to do this. It'll allow you to also do video emails where you can take a video and embed it in the body of the email, kind of like BombBomb does, and you can track all of that as well. So, I mean, it gives you a lot of useful tools as a CRM. If you do not have one, don't go out and spend money. The best CRM is the one you use. When you get to a point where you use a CRM and it no longer can take care of the data in which you need to take care of it, then you upgrade to something else. But until then, you should at least have LionDesk.
Yep, I agree. So there you go, guys. It's no extra charge. All you've got to do is click on the link there. It takes you right in. It's always going to be that single sign-on. And sounds like Tommy is really familiar with it. So reach out if you need help. You probably know more about LionDesk.
It's a CRM I use for title as well. I mean, you know.
Yeah, works great. I'm sure for all your uses that for title, keep track of everything you need to keep track of.
Yeah, and guys, one thing about all these services, some of them you have to go in and register. It's not just an open portal for you once you're logged into CRMLS. You have to click on it through the CRMLS like she is doing right now, so that it tracks that you're coming from the CRMLS and it doesn't put you into an order screen to where you have to pay for something. I've gotten that told to me many times where people have gone directly to LionDesk, and of course it makes you register and want to pay, and the services start at like $25 and go up. But if you access it this way through your CRMLS dashboard, then it automatically registers you as from the CRMLS, and therefore when you go into the order screen, it'll automatically say 0. Okay, so access all of these programs from your CRMLS dashboard.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so List Hub, that is actually controlled by your manager or broker, and that's just them going in. They're deciding which site your listings need to be syndicated out to, so they're going to do it on the basis of the office. So most of you aren't going to have to worry about that one. If you're interested which direction your manager or your broker went, you can go ahead and ask them. You'll also see as you drop one down here, listing distribution. So that typically is taken care of by the broker or manager. And that's just, we've done a little refresh on that one. NAR member resources, I don't typically go into that one. Tommy, do you go into that one very often?
No.
No, I don't dive into that one. Proxio Pro, now this one, we have just pretty basic features. This would be the ability to search properties globally. So the link maybe is not working from there. We're not really supporting that, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip over that one. Rate plug. Tommy, are you familiar with Rate Plug?
I will say Proxio, if I recall, gives you the ability to register within it as well. So if there was somebody from outside the country looking to move into the country, et cetera, they may find you as an agent within that portal.
Yep. Well, by default, you automatically are going to have an account. So even if you didn't click on Proxio Pro, it's going to have your basic profile information in there. But I think that one feature you may want to do, go in there if you speak multiple languages. I had an agent that was in Temecula, and they had some land they were trying to sell down in San Diego area, which was in a Filipino neighborhood. So they needed an agent that could communicate Tagalog. So through Proxio Pro, they were able to find that agent and get that property sold. So that's one reason to jump in here, guys, and get your account set up. So even if you don't plan to use it and search globally, you would just click on Proxio Pro, drop in there, hit View Profile, and put in multiple languages that you speak. So if other agents look you up, they're able to see. You can also connect with agents around the world through this. For some, it's a very handy tool.
I've gotten some agent feedback on this where they've joined groups within Proxio. I think at the beginning, if you go back one screen, you'll see there was a tab to join groups. And they'll join
There's
groups.
a couple groups here too.
Yeah, they'll join different groups. Like for instance, we use the example that you just used, language barrier, right? You speak a particular language, try and join groups with other agents that speak that language from other areas. And then therefore it opens up the portal for you guys to be able to be referral clients to one another. Things like that play a part, and it has some good features to be able to network yourself.
Yep. All right. So that is Proxio Pro. Rate Plug is the ability to, so if I drop in there, I have an account created. So if I were to sign up for Rate Plug, what it's going to do is give me real-time loan information at the bottom of the customer fold when I email listings out. So as an agent, there's no charge for you to sign up for Rate Plug. But if you want to go ahead and plug in up to 3 preferred lenders, the lender is actually the one who pays the fee. It's been around for many, many years. A lot of lenders, they probably already participate. But you want to think about it, guys. If you sign up for Rate Plug and you do not put in a preferred lender, what they will do is just grab all the lenders in the area who participate with Rate Plug. So when you're emailing listings out of Matrix, at the bottom of that customer full, it could just vary what loan officer is attached to that information.
But if you select a preferred one, it always puts their information down there.
Right, and you can do up to 3. And so, you know, you want to think about it that way. If you're going to use it, most likely you would want to plug in the preferred. But maybe contact your lender first and say, hey, do you participate with Rate Plug? Are you interested? Because if you put in that preferred lender, Rate Plug is going to reach out to them and say, hey, this is how much the charge is. Do you want to participate? So many already do participate. It's just, that's been around for years and years, honestly, probably 10 years or so. So realist taxes, we all know, guys, that is your ability to search all recorded parcels within the state of California. So they've done a pretty nice upgrade on that recently, but typically agents like Tommy can tell you they're going to use this to jump in there, search a property profile. And if that's all that you're using it for, you're really, you're overlooking all the tools that are honestly here.
It was weird because when they did the update, special assessments and tax sheets, special assessments dropped off completely for like about a month. And then they put special assessment data back into it. So I was getting calls all the time, you know, hey, what's special assessment? What's special assessment? Now I get more of the calls on the weekends. It seems like that's when they do their updates, and the system goes down. But I've been in, I've messed around with it a little bit, and it does view better on mobile now than it did prior.
Yeah.
So I think that was the big change that they did. Yeah, it looks completely different online when you guys look at it, and sometimes change is hard for people, but all the data is still there. And be thankful that on mobile, when you're scrolling through it on mobile now, it's mobile friendly, and you just scroll down 3 times and you're at your special assessments and things like that. But ultimately, it was just taking a little bit of getting used to for the agents, I think.
Sure, and you just think about it too. I think if the first time you go in there, if you're not familiar with it, you're like, what am I supposed to do here? I mean, you just think about, guys, you just take that and divide that into 3 screens. It's just the search, the map, and the grid. And that's really all there is to it, just like the old version. You know, and if you need help on that, just reach out. We can help you out. Honestly, we're not supporting that any longer. That's going to be dropping off. So our contract, we're just waiting for the contract to run out on that one. RPR, if you haven't created your account in RPR, guys, it is your tool that is created by National Association of Realtors, and it gives you the ability to search all properties across the United States. And it depends on if the multiple listing service in that area actually participates with RPR. sometimes even if they do participate, they may not share data outside of an area. So what agents typically would use this for would be going in and creating a really nice comparative market analysis. I've had agents say, hey, I only use RPR now because there's so much data that I can actually plug into my report, and my clients seem to like it a little bit better. So I can get comps. I can also refine a value based on home improvements. And if you do that, you know, you see that here is your mouse over the eye. The data is coming from Hanley Wood, which provides data across the nation in regards to breaking down and refining a value, saying I spent X number of dollars back a couple years ago. How much does it now add value to my property? So different reports here. I just click over there for you, and there you see all those reports available.
Can you click on a couple of those different reports so they can just get a quick visual?
Sure.
Like, for instance, there was a
well, it's kind of broken down like this.
Oh, okay.
So you have to actually go in and create the report.
Gotcha.
Here's a school report. Here's a flyer I created. So if I wanted to look at the school report, really nice cover sheet. So
Okay,
this
all
one,
right.
if I had a
You need
client,
to go into this school report a little bit more in depth, because that's a huge thing that the agents are always asking. Is like, hey, do you have a map that shows the school district? And this does.
there you go. This one does. So, and I asked how often they update the data for the school district boundary lines and so forth. It's actually coming from, I want to say it's coming from, did they say, from niche.com for the schools, updated quarterly. So, and I trust National Association of Realtors as far as the data, right? But this, if I had a client who said, hey, can you send me over a quick report, talk to me about schools because we're moving to the area, I can go ahead and I can base it on one school. Here's Vail Ranch, right? I drop one down, it gives the school rating, and then it shows me all the properties, or all the schools rather, within that particular district. And then as I drop one down, I can also add properties that are for sale, and I can stay within that school district.
Nice. And if you scrolled back up, when it listed the other schools, it gave you their ratings as well. Yep. Okay.
Yep. There you go. So
That's a nice
all
report.
this information, this is a really nice report. So if you need, let me get rid of some of my windows. I'm getting a lot here. So if you need a school report, you know, Realist Tax has school report, but I think RPR is going to be your best option because the way it's laid out and just all the data that you can include there. So there's all your different reports, property report. I could drop in there. I can do a quick flyer. So if I think, you know what, I'm going to have, well, we don't have open house right now, but let's say that I have a new listing or just sold, and I want to share that over to Facebook really quick. I'm trying to think what's going to be my fastest way to do that. I mean, you can create a flyer here in RPR. Here's a property flyer right here. Click on the plus sign, and I can just do a quick share to Facebook right from there. And it's a pretty basic flyer. It's not fancy, but it would do the trick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're almost
Nice.
through, guys. Central lock, and then your super, of course, those are your keys when you go out showing property. And then showing time, and this is a huge one that I always ask, have you gone in and set up your preferences for showing time? Because if you have not, you're missing out, right? So showing time is your software as far as scheduling that showing. And a lot of times, you know, you look in the MLS and you see a property that has the showing time icon attached to it. And then you drop down and you're looking at the showing instructions, and it says, do not use showing time. So if you don't want to use showing time, you can go ahead and turn it off as a whole, or you could adjust it per listing. So you want to think about that going into showing time, setting up your preferences as the seller's agent and the buyer's agent. And it's easy as edit profile right here. That's all you need to do.
You have
Drop
to
in
do
there,
that
get your
within showing
preferences.
time, though.
Yep, you have to go into showing time itself and set your preferences up. So if I wanted it turned off as a whole, I would say allow agents to request appointments online. If I switch that to no, you're not going to see that showing time icon attached to your listing.
Gotcha.
Or I could set it up per listing on the listing setup. So I think that's important because most agents don't realize that they have that option.
I guarantee there's maybe less than 1% that does.
right? And also you can download the app. And I mean, this is a great way to stay organized, because if I have the app on my phone, it syncs up with our other apps, and I can go ahead and sync this to my calendar. Now I know everything that's coming up, and I'm not going to miss anything, right? So think about this one. This is important. I think it gets a little bit overlooked because they're like, yeah, that's showing time, big deal, right?
Okay, so I do see an app that's fallen off of this list now, and that's Glide.
So Glide is not, that's basically put out by your association because it's associated with CAR.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're not going to see that here. Right now, we're going to have something in the works on that. But you're not going to probably see the Glide app here for some time yet, because you have to think about we're the data, and it's got to do with forms and so forth.
Right.
So that's kind of something we're working on.
I'm going to be the bad man here.
Okay, go ahead.
Pertaining to Glide, is there a way
Yeah.
of turning off or unchecking something to where Glide will not solicit the clients for insurance?
Oh, now that one I haven't heard. I honestly don't have a Glide account, but I can ask about that and get back to you, Tommy.
It seems a lot of agents don't want to use Glide of any way, shape, or form anymore because they find that Glide as a company starts soliciting and reaching out to them, telling them that they, should purchase additional type of coverages and things like that.
I did quite a bit of research on that in the last year or so, because it was transaction coordinator specifically, but a lot of people were excited about the neatness of being able to create TDSs and SPQs and that sort of thing. However, first, it was never developed to be a TC product, and it has to come through the realtor. I'm also I'm not sure it's confirmed yet, but it does seem to be that they are separating from CAR, and that there may be a talk with Seller Shield going on. But the reason that I'm supporting is, unless you prep every single client, if your transaction coordinator uses it and they don't prep every single client that they're going to get hit for that insurance opportunity, the client may think they need it, and it may be an undisclosed fee that they don't take too kindly coming from you. So it's kind of tricky. Now, I called them and went over it and asked specifically what I could do, and they said that the whole reason they give it away is because the percentage is high enough of people who don't know better and who buy the insurance for them to justify giving it to us. We also search as to whether they were going to have a TC product, and they are not intending at this time to have a TC product. So those of you who love it and are relying on it, I have sympathy for you, especially because we have a lot of transaction coordinators come and listen to our talk. I have a lot of sympathy. I've been watching it. I've been watching your conversations on the TC groups. But please don't forget that the client is being solicited when you're using that outside.
This is Christina. Have any of you sent a Glide to yourself to see exactly what the seller is seeing?
I did quite a long time ago, because before it was called Glide, it was called something else. I think Seller Shield was actually the premier product, because I think I dealt with them first. But it's been a while now. But and the product, I understand, runs about $150.
It's really, I just did it recently, and it's really, really bad. Basically what happens is, with every single question, there's a thing that says, for more information, click here. And as soon as you click there, it says $100. Or you can pay $400 for the E&O per transaction. And I work with a lot of agents or brokers that already have seller coverage in their E&O. So the seller would be paying more or twice.
I think
that's what I don't like.
I don't think zip forms can be complete. I want to not run off on this because I waste Jane's time or misuse her time. But
no, that's okay.
But zip forms must be aware of it. They must understand that we need a clean, fill-outable copy of SPQs and TDSs and things, and there must be something coming. There's just no way this is being ignored as a
But
whole.
correct me if I'm wrong, in zip forms, when you use zip forms to do e-sign and stuff, another window pops up and asks you if you want the extra coverage. So most people say no thanks and don't take that. So are you still covered or are you not at that point would be the question. But, you know, the question has come up a lot, Jane, and that's why I said I'll be the bad man, because I knew this was going to spark a little bit of conversation. Because
No, it's good.
with COVID guidelines and the PED forms and everything else that's out there right now, it's giving you the easy button is to just click on the automated generated link in the agent comment section where it automatically takes you into Glide to fill out that PED form, and then it'll allow you to open it either in DocuSign or in zip forms to e-sign it and send it out. And so it's brought up a lot of controversy because Glide wasn't getting used by the majority in the past, and now it's being used by the majority now because of COVID. And so conversations have come up and sparked because a lot of clients are getting asked from their client, or a lot of agents are getting asked from their client, hey, what is this? Do I need this? Things like that. And it's sparking conversation in a big way.
Yeah, oh, I understand. So, and if you had an example of some of the solicitation that you get, if you send it over to me, I can just I can take it to the powers that be and say, like Remind as a good example. That was one of those products that I said is going to drop off our dashboard because the solicitation was just over the top. And when you bring these things up and we actually take them to who needs to see it, then it begins a conversation on it. So.
I mean, it's amazing that, at this day and age, that CAR hasn't come up with an easier mobile-friendly solution for the agents to be able to access their transaction files and all forms and be able to work from your phone, and that you need a third party to come up and say, hey, we're going to make it easy so they can go on with their phone and take pictures and this, and it fills out their SPQ and their TDS. And it's like, in this day and age and the technology we have, it's amazing CAR hasn't come out with something, and they're just, utilizing third party for whatever reason. I know there's financial advantages there, but still, it's kind of like the advancement of technology, the CRMLS, the Matrix, the different apps, things like that. 99% of everything an agent does nowadays is mobile. It's on the move. It's not on a desktop. And we're seeing gradually move, but not as fast as technology is.
Right, just my last thought on this. One of the great powers that we've all had for many years, and transaction coordinators, this means you too. When we get a new form or something that just doesn't work, it continuously causes problems, we just cut it off. We stop using it. And we have a lot of, and again, we're definitely going to take you up on that. There are two TC groups that I belong to. One has 1,100 members, one has 600 members, and Glide is a constant topic of how badly we need it, and yet we're winding up accidentally putting the listing agent in the position of having to explain what these additional fees are. So I'm going to take you up on those things. I'm going to let you, everybody, I'm going to let us move off the Glide issue, but it was an important issue. Thank you, Tommy, for jumping in on that.
Sure. You bet. Okay, so just a couple more things to wrap up with as long as I'm here in Matrix. I know, Tommy, you mentioned reverse prospecting is huge. So think about this, guys, when you set a client up on the auto email feature in Matrix. So in other words, I drop in there. I'm just going to show you a quick example. This will take a second. I run a search. I drop into that search and I say, hey, I want to save this as a new auto email. And I go down, I fill out all the information. There's a box right here that's going to be checked by default that says make available for reverse prospecting. So that is checked as a courtesy to the seller's agent. So the seller's agent can now go into their listing. So if I drop in here to my matrix, I drop on down to my listings, I can click on a listing, and mine are test only, of course, I'm not going to have any data, but there's my reverse prospect tool. So that's going to give the information as to which agents have emailed my listing out within an auto email and all the data that's attached to that. So that's a great tool. And I think, Tommy, you want to talk about that a little bit more?
I would love for you to. So at that point, when you click on reverse prospect and you go to what's the next step and stuff on that, obviously you don't get any data on that client or anything like that. And I just want to, make that a point, because a lot of agents may look at it and say, well, I don't want to give data away to my client, but you don't. Inside deep in the matrix knows who looked at it and who sent it out, but the listing agent does not. They just know that there's 2,478 possible reverse prospects there.
Right, so it gives the agent name that emailed it out, and it gives you that ability to reach out to that agent, hey, I have a price reduction or whatever the case might be, or just to show your client, here's all the interest in your property, or here's no interest because possibly we need to adjust that price. It's really for you to kind of gauge the interest in the property.
And that's another good point. As an agent, a buyer's agent, and you're working with a client, you're setting them up on auto emails and you're sending it out there, et cetera. As a listing agent, if as a buyer's agent, you click that box when you set it up that said, allow for reverse prospecting, then it gives good feedback to the listing agent to be able to click on that and say, how many times has our property been sent out? And if it's been sent out 2,800 times and 2 weeks have gone by and you have 0 showings, that gives you leverage with your client to show them, listen, this many people have seen your listing, and that's just from one site. That's not from the other 2,500. And that's just from one site. 2,800 people saw it in the last 2 weeks, and we've had 2 showings.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
That paints the picture of how to move forward and drop that price a little bit, right?
Yep, I agree. Okay, so we're right at the bottom of the hour. What do you guys think? Are we ready to wrap it up?
Could you hit real quick on the widgets?
Sure, I can go. Let's talk about these widgets, guys. And if you haven't gone in here and adjusted your widgets the way you want to work them, you need to drop and drag those. So on the home tab of Matrix, it's just that simple drop and drag. And I think the 3 that most agents honestly use are going to be the Market Watch. And that Market Watch is meant to show you in your particular area that you focus in, what's the activity. So I've got mine customized, and I'll show you, I've got mine set up for 2 cities. So these are the 2 cities I'm watching. I didn't go in there and set up price, beds, baths, square footage, because with this, it's my overall view of the market. So it's showing me in the last 24 hours, let's switch it up to the last 7 days. How many coming soon? I'm going to take a look at those coming soon, right? Click right there. I see those 4 coming soon. Hey, I'm going to email those out to my client because those are what's coming on the market. Actions to email, I can go ahead and send those out right there. So it's kind of your overview of what's going on in your market area according to how you customize it.
And another thing that you can do with that is you customize your Market Watch for 7 days. If you had a snag it tool, you can snag just that little box and save it as a JPEG, and then post that on social media and say, in the last 7 days, here's what the market looks like in whatever city it is, right?
Oh, there you go. That's a cool idea.
So there's easy ways of doing that until the CRMLS updates this to where we can automatically, post it to social media. But until then, you can still use the data, right? Now, how did you get, show them how you were able to put eProperty Watch as a widget on your home screen like that.
Sure. So eProperty Watch, we took it when we first rolled it out a couple of years ago. We dropped it under your additional widget right here. So you think about, I drop in there and I don't see eProperty Watch. All you have to do is take it, drag it out to its own placeholder. So now you can be reminded when you go into your home page, hey, I'm going to check eProperty Watch to see which of my clients are actually previewing that newsletter. But get these widgets set up so that you're going to save time. You've got your hot sheets. Those are geared towards maybe your farm area or towards specific clients. And you want to just quickly jump in there and see what's new. And you also have my favorite searches, kind of the same, really the same option. These are basically just saved searches either way you go or think about it. But once you set that up, now you save time because you can drop in there. I can update all here, and I can see, hey, for Richard, there's 2 new listings. Let me drop right over there. I'm going to email those out directly from here.
And that's the
so
big
you have
one.
to let the system. Yeah,
that's the big one, guys. If you set up your home screen to where it is user friendly for you and you utilize your home screen, it'll save you so much time. I know that almost everybody on this is working with clients where they are waking up first thing in the morning, grabbing their cup of joe, sitting in front of the computer, and then going into the matrix and doing a new search for the same search that you searched the last 7 days. When you could be just clicking one button like that and seeing if there's new in that given search or not, and opening up to see what it is. And the one that's for my cart, right? So your clients that are within your matrix on saved searches that are searching and being able to see, who has clicked and searched properties, how many properties did they view, etc. Those things are ones you want to move up into your home screen to where you can see that instantly as soon as you log in.
Yep. So basically just get your widgets arranged the way that you want those. And if you don't see a widget, because everybody has the same widgets, just drop down, find your additional widget, take it, put it to its own placeholder, and then you're going to have the functionality for that widget. All right.
Perfect.
How do we do?
Hey, that was awesome. If you guys didn't learn something on this, let me know, because everybody could be learning from you. Maybe we need to have you on to present, because there's a lot of data within the CRMLS that is there for you that I just think really most people don't realize it's there, or just haven't taken the time to go through and click on it and explore it. And hopefully now you have enough data to want to do that, right?
Yep. Yeah, guys, reach out if you need any help. My email is jane@crmls.org. And Tommy is a wealth of information too. He knows really everything that's going on in here. So, all you have to do is reach out.
We put your contact in the chat. Mary Jane put the first chat in there, and she put Jane's contact. So you have her phone number and email. Guys, reach out to one of us first if you just have questions about something. But if it's something you're stuck on and you can't get past it, Jane's there for you. And, her and her team can take care of your needs, obviously. So, the CRMLS is there to help you make your life a little bit easier. It's there to help automate some of the processes. If you utilize it right, for instance, save searches, things like that, it makes it a lot easier for you to just go back and reenact that same search. Instead of going in and doing the 5-step, 10-step process of clicking on search, listings, etc., putting in all the data of what you want to search, and then going through and looking at them, you can have them saved like she does here in my favorites, and that will save you tons of time. But please go through and utilize some of those widgets, or not widgets, some of those different apps that are available to you. You're paying for them, regardless if you use them or not. It's in your dues. So take advantage of some of them that can help simplify your business a little bit. All right. Well, Jane, that was awesome.
Yeah, she's always.
Well, thank you. Tommy, you're a wealth of information yourself. So thank you, and thank you, Mary Jane. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Jane, for being here. I hope everybody had a nice holiday weekend and are looking forward to the holidays coming up as well. I wanted to mention real briefly that next week we are going to talk about procuring cause. And part of the reason that I'm doing procuring cause at the end of the year is so that we can get a nice recording about it, because Tommy and I get this call 15, 20 times a year from agents who have lost a client for all the usual reasons, and very often not even because they've done anything to lose the client. In fact, they were actively working on it. So I have the grievance committee leader coming to talk to us next week as well. We're going to make a nice recording about procuring costs so that when you guys call me, we have something for you to go through. It's a heartbreaking call for us. We know it's heartbreaking for you. And so I'm going to try to get something on the record that will give you some options. But it's a difficult subject, so I just kind of wanted to tell you that don't miss next week. It's going to be very good. Jane, once again, thank you so much for being here and Tommy's always a leader in everything he does, so we're happy to have him as well.
Yep, thank you.
And guys, we do record these so that you can go back and watch them again. So if you are interested in that link and you don't know where to get them, because I do have a page that I store them all on, you can reach out to me directly. Again, Tommy, the number 4title.com. All my information's there. And feel free to reach out to me and I'll get you all those links. Again, we do this every week. We try and add value to you guys. And all of them get recorded so that you have a library to go back. And if you missed one, you could go back and watch it at your own time. So I think this is one that will probably get a lot of views back and forth so that people can go back and see what Jane shared with you. So if you want that link, feel free to reach out to myself and I'll get that to you.
Right. Any last
All right, guys. Well, Jane, thank you so much for taking the time out of your
You're
day
welcome.
to spend with us
You
on
bet.
this beautiful Wednesday. And we thank you for dropping all the knowledge that you just dropped with us.
You're so welcome. You guys have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you,
All right, guys,
you.
take care. Again,
everyone.
we're here for you. If you need anything, please reach out.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Hey, everyone.